the Ken Obama is a Joshua of our time. He's built that remarkable track record of achievement, individual achievement. Numa we baby, we share the discipline as a man, what he has stood for as a man. Then a brabo, the BBA, and she say, oh, Yibia. Nippon with the Zuzobia, oh, Ken, the Ede, and Fata. Nemo, dear Bezobia, kind of say. Yankopon, he doesn't call the qualified, he rather qualifies the called. Tiasemniu, God doesn't call the qualified. God rather qualifies the called. In this obisusu, and I can't there, Mamma come of video so. We are not saying Ken is spotless. Ken we nipa. Mizanko, maybe Timmy free, but in the Mia, Debbie, and about him, dear Maya. Debbie, I bet I make a Sakama coming in nipa boy, Jimmy, so no question. But in terms of Mejuma, was a million. Now, coupon whom O'Brien, assume some meeting me the summoning pania de Adasa. In Kazaken, Nipa, Sebium, Fonsonia de Fonso, Mr. Modaton, Fonso, Ken Ho, Fonso, Dr. Baumia de But O'Shea, Nina, ye sinto, Enina, Echia. Na en komono ye say, the obeti magic to me, I'm a MPP in the year 2028. Nobody stands taller than Ken Agyapong. And then I'll go use against him. Say, I may handle economy. There be, I mean, some job 2028 on the debate of the economy. Say NDC perform one, Baumia has no place. And if you pick from 1 to 1:4 to 1:17, we buy in a space of 7 months. Of course, the factors can be interrogated. We don't give credit to them. Me, I'm an MPP true, no on the year. But you see, at the end of the day, the evidence available, is all on the face of the pink sheet. And the ordinary Ghanaian, assembly now become an idea. I told you, on a year. Assuming, say, what they call 18, how do you then come to convince him to say, 17 was better than the 8, or you are coming to do a doctor of economics? Doctor of economics, at the end of the day, the economy broke down. So, now, now you are not owing up to it. You've now turned into a new field, which is a friend say, IT digitalization. How then do you become a specialized and perfect in your area? How will people trust you?
Network I call crowd when you be told the digitalization. Yes. As one automatic area. Now people don't score you higher marks there. So how then will people trust you for a new area that you are bringing? And the 2028, if the debate is on the economy, we have no place to stand. We need to get to be a practical economists. And you must say why they will be workers said why they wafa. These are practical economy. Can you pinpoint A, B, C, D with him? You can't. And these are. So 2028, like I keep repeating, is about courage. If you're not boy, a black man off na you go dog and 72 hours or 24 hours or judgment. A black man off with the after 4 years now is also go for a day, a big jam. So we need Obi or who could draw bit media. We are not going to fight in 2028, but we are also not going to show weakness. One would see a bed, a big trap, and we need somebody like Ken Agyapong to take us to cross the pattern line. Now, now we a bit too, meaning Sanka, you can second chance there, sorry. Yeah, no, you're I don't cheat and a sorry, no. Into second chance there. A one will be adding a nickel. Now, young Rihanna, a era or such a man sabusu at yesim. Ya watch church party abakwasem ya no kreni me no kredi hu enkomo. Now, second chance no ebi so asemo mo kan say. Wo obi a watimi aton over 16 years. O de nako anye ye de. But ebi a o ma no second chance na kan san de no ko bi mu a anka be ye. Second chance no onyintum ana sabre de wadwen asesa.
No, I mean, you see, bottom line is say NMPP no ya catch for party. The Zoka Wasema, Abribian is an opportunity for people to interrogate Wasema. And then people go out any party will be at Timmy Chen. And a meeting, we name one of them come about, other than this, on more primacy the ayente treka
say no a party the two net
the two net what the names of the woman the neighbor obian by the say kind of catch who said the contest between Bawumia and Ken
exactly
and this but what they know obian said the woman ever so there was no competition but in our case there's competition because in MPP we allow that MPP do be an fan
because they are doing a
party and now no dear be a phrase said dear be a twam na koba say e kwan bia so no we se ba kofo no bia dey edinati ndi yezo wie na kwasi kwato ka so di ka echi a hey as obi mu say inherent right to say obo they have to enjoy everybody's support ndi when they jira or break you hey what break you law say cho dey over makwa so and this how the MPP there can we give opportunity for participation first of all no crane we are not saying say people are not entitled to second chances me call election when me crew was Santiachem. Okay. Me call my performance was not good. I don't think it would be fair for anybody to say because me call my performance was not. We should not be unfair to Dr. Bawumia. No, nobody's saying that. I remember when I went to the north, and Obika say, is it because Dr. Bawumia not 19 and motivation? And I'm saying, no, you're not nobody pay. And even check the history of our elections here to general election. Indeed, look at his performance. 84.2% of the votes came from the southern part of the country. Okay. Do you hear that even that typically, unfortunately, even at the northern part, he rather reduced in vote by 16% compared to 2020 votes. Wow. And at the southern part, so it was also very dangerous. Southern part, general performance compared to Akufo-Addo 2020, will reduce you by 33% votes. And the general votes difference will reduce you by 30%. 30%. And what is the performance in this? Now let's even move the conversation beyond the figures and go to history. Okay. I mean for history and guide up. In MPP, opinion ID card ne share enya akonya e more core prime minister obedi o man and the general election. Ne friend Professor Dubois. Omo de cover party ne dey e buy. Professor Dubois the first ever presidential race. These are the factors that were affecting him. Brennan transitioning from the military regime. Okay. Rollins yes wa chimamia brebu bonechi. Yes, we one Democrats in Republicans is no now question the foreign powers in the press day. And just any be enjoy the any amani ever but the crime for so we need the and in this case, despite that suppressive and hostile environment, Professor Dubois hit me pulling 1.2 million votes. Till 1.2 million votes. At the time, the percentage was 30.29%. And Rollins in 58.4. I mean, but stress on the opponent side. But history. Now, vote difference and then what President Rollins and the Professor Dubois in 1992 was 1.1 million. Okay. The votes difference between President Rollins and Professor Dubois was 1.1 million votes in 1992. It was more to be on 96. Na party for no say prof 1.2 million votes difference 1.2 na unya no eye na votes difference na mu wa toto so 1.1 1.1 de yen hwe ye dwen ho na president Kufuor e de performance ye campaign so ba obetima ye de ayade na o mkoto aba president Kufuor na so wa o na kofa party by but enya de kofa party by de asem enya professor asem we need power because you see your professors may be good with the ideas, but no matter how nice and lucrative the ideas are, if you don't have power, the ideas will be obsolete and so be another. So, and then the president Kufuor by President Kufuor also acquired 2.83 million votes, representing 39.67%. And Usha President Kufuor the Professor Dubois he votes from 30% the coin 39%. It was about 9% na de aka ho. Into the 9% the can ho. Ono kwani votes difference President Rollins the beating years 1.2 million. So the first one Dubois 1.1, President Kufuor 1.2. Even though no votes difference in terms of the percentage no the BI dey. Appreciate it. In the graph now in MPP near graph no kwa na ekosoro afa fi 30 or the 39 tie dru be ha ye hwe ya Akufo-Addo so be into president Kufuor nya 39 no dey na obi a wafa free from e de kosoro no o ka chen se o man na nyere enkobio na mpanifo se amfo na dey e che na nto aso ko papa no abo modern afa wo to ano so obi abehu ze ene ye de ne kwanimu ente sa ana the president Kufuor ko na second time no ye dey o ko win in the 2000 ye dey ye ba power
no be 7 8 years we 7 8 years the good thing is na president Akufo Addo nyakwanya as a one amemum. But you see, context is very important. The highest officer na president Akufo Addo nyakwanya as a president Akufo administration was the minister of state. Or the two ministers. Okay. But who as Attorney General and Foreign Affairs.
Yes.
No, I'm a vice president. That. And this was in a space of what? 8 years. Pacho, emphasis should be on this. This was in a space of the 8 years. Foreign Affairs is not a ministry of my project. Because Sabra ina black one na abese na. Black one na reduce standard no. Ina black one na abese na okra medium okra onya dey. O ma diplomacy language you nya kwanya kan. But o dey bi adana. Secondly, Attorney General and then ba ko madam mveze ni wa o apayiso
na yanko
the papa or try our public
and no media
e dey be o media mu and no na about Attorney General for ko say that dey end tomonka Dominic Ayeni o ba to omonka na mo court nti onye position bi otimi nya kwan e project ni hu bia but in 2008 for the first time in the history of MPP we won in the first round. In Toby Catchers MPP will be winning the first round. That is not true. Akufo Addo won in his first round.
Yes.
Even though he didn't win the overall.
The percentage.
Yes. Akufo Addo now 4.15 million votes. We 2 million match with you. We 2 million match with 4.15 million votes. Now representing 49.13% in the president. 49.13%.
Better from 39.
Better from 39 to 49. Yeah. Even we are the on to others. And only JM is now 4.105 million votes. Nanim Akufo Addo kwade difference votes na president Akufo Addo the first and 1.2 million. Akufo Addo tried who the 100,000.
Yes. Better so.
Already yes. Votes difference was 100,000 votes until say we call a second round now. Okolusu was a time 23,000 votes or the Okolusi. Jibes Akufo Addo kwade no they above from 1.2 million to 100,000. Is the expected president Dr. Bawumia so am 400,000 no kra am fa bi ante so any kwan so man dey
even especially wo hwe baby a obenya baby obedi ni positions obedi die na wo de no kra two nchen ya sabre no na media no enye bebre se ende kra na wo kasa ekọ baby a ene wo kasa eduru Ghana baby
ma men kasa mo nchiro omo se o ye time media na party ni hwan in 2008 na party ni hwan hizizi we as BBC near friend global economic recession Google 2008 Oko America more economy kura dey crash certain governments all over the world lost one more time kura dey friends say factories and companies were declaring bankruptcy am I affected the developing economies like us ours yes Mekako for cry say he is the worst leader this country has ever had na some for catch on with prosperity with jajas Mukai sabro moto ni so mo fe na tayi ni ade obe wi aga na sika nyina na yakun kra hikra zizi and that's that they cry they say because COVID in tinkofo be hu ye mobo at that time there was no COVID it was a man-made artificial global recession
na time obe free suprana omo ko contest no omo ko primary no ka say omo 2 days say akronfo dunso it is that time they is akronfo
why but when even in spite of that, the President Akufo Addo was able to put this performance 49.13 from 39 to 49. Now back to 2024 with President former Vice President Dr. Bawumia. Dr. Bawumia ba no na expect say because of the history of ascension the trend no kono so betim dey there akosoro. Oba contrary to what we all expected no. President Akufo Addo votes na newo 6.7 million no one over obenya 4.65% into obete 49.13% no so about 41.61% when you dey nationally it shows that nationally Dr. Bawumia eti Akufo Addo votes no nyina na performance no by 30%. What about the southern regions so by 33%. Even in terms of north compared to 2020 or so by a whooping 16%. And we share votes difference now. The votes difference was 1.67 million votes difference. And to run it up, you are looking at about 1.7 million votes difference. Now let's compare. Let's just small mathematics. Professor Dubois here, the gap was what 1.1. President Akufo, the gap was what 1.2. In the case of Akufo-Addo rather gave the gap of 100,000 because Akufo-Addo will lead them. So how come say a drew the other about 1.67%? So which means that if you draw the graph, it's rather up, down. Rather than up, down. You see, no man affected you know. Look, no man affected any baby. You may look at a lot of perspective. I don't want to be a better in time along the way. But these are things that, if you take for instance economy, can you tell me, say, you as the head of the economic management team, nobody may you were free, sir, economic debating. If all good things you lay claim to it, why can't we also be responsible? Say, no, maybe so I take money. You can also lay claim to a certain also the account. But any random factor you think affected us? Won't mean Nipana no year number 2 in your day. In film. Esther, that will amount to throwing Akufo-Addo under the carpet.
A bit is say Okojina a takradia or kase or kaise by time ye babe twaba few days to elections not ya took full or ya mona money. And many penny be din common or catcher me say Dr. Baumia en nim say I mean ye were automatic adjustment system our Ghana as ye tomb a year now automatically now reflected our Ghana. Yeah, and since I never when you been a son work.
Sir, and come on, I'm say minimum motion trying to run away from responsibility. That problem more the almost started with Takrade. It didn't start from Takrade. But we have not been bold to talk about it is the UPSA lecture. One more year lecture, almost the bold solutions. So that was where the problem started from. You see, that lecture sought to make Baumia own the good things in the party, but normal any biano. Yes, but you see, when you do that, it also shows that then party now you know maybe any day. It's say Becca say we are levy may ye free ho. We may ye free ho, we may ye for betting tax, may ye free ho, when he buy minim, you took petrol minimum. Let's also look at another alternative. Of course, say Dr. Penny, meant me change the one. But let's also look at a different form of communication. Mr. Uncle, no catch us. Oh, Sa no ma wo kanyina no ampa ye nim said the ahohwe ene yawde kakra ye aba. But the beer COVID see ye ba be 7 wo hwet wo the Ghana Education Service alone about 350,000 teachers. On me adwuma be for be afe ye twi omo kaso obi anya adwuma da ana obi atifie for be afe a obi ankwa adwuma so ye twi aneka fa nsu a ye change free fa hospital say ye change ye fa nkania nti ye de ahokyere kakra ye de ebre ye nya nkwa wiase nyina nti ampa mo asoma mo kasa ahokyere ban betting tax ye levy ni ade aba na ampa me gitum say ahokyere ye de aba na mum I take responsibility for it as a leader. Misaji tumu susu se mo asema mo ka no so ye de chodo me ne mo yadwe na mum sese no ensese ne de baaye no eso aye de awo eso abamfa so sese no hwe the economic trajectory enoma ye de efefe enoma ye yi nti nyankopon pa the next subsequent year moto aboma me aye de ebesesa we so say Ghana font ase
aka ye simple
Ghana font ase
say do baby krobi sa se me yes adwuma we nya me ba den na me
okay president Kofo o share bo president Kofo share bo so bo be so bo ba em ko yi no zi Ghana fo se wo tie kira ye different form so wa go prama na ye de eso timo fa ye cheme. That's how Ghanaians are. They just want to see you to be honest, to respect them, to understand their feelings, and then you appeal to them and they talk to you. That's how we say. But I say, oh, you live with the okra can omantia, omunyini. Menkaho, no munyade, omunyini. Assembling na So on, I mean, in ending with a second chance conversation, one thing you also have to note, and they say, 2020 is going to be tough for 2028 is going to be tough for us. Let me give you a scenario and if in 2020, President Mahama called elections with President Akufo-Addo. So okay, no truly President Akufo-Addo with 500, no truly Akufo-Addo with 1 million votes difference. Because 2016 Akufo-Addo share with 1 million votes. Yes. President Mahama called elections, Adia President Mahama, you will listen about by easy man in the space of 72 hours to declare. It was on election when they lose one call winning. Hey, you also more comfortable lead. No lead with 148 seats, members of parliament seats, and this.
Yeah.
148. Yes, or near press conference. Anybody was up 137.
Yes.
Now for 1 million, what chemu to 500,000. Experience and all day. No. I don't sit here to praise him
because he was protecting.
His people,
making sure
that is a trademark of every great leader. That in spite of one casa, you also look at other people, and that is how trees are. Because the beauty in planting trees is even when in your absence, it can provide shades for the rest of the people. 40 years, 40 years that was President Mahamad's foresight. To Jinemua selection of 148, and that's the hallmark of a warrior. Now compared to 2024 years, in 2024, the EC had given a space of 72 hours. Under less than 24 hours, we had made an early concession. Of course, people have argued, say, yes, I said the bay, assume bed, ever moment. 92 busy, I and to me 24 hours, I'll be out. Secondly, rather, no, people have also argued, say, Okochi Mutu Mukrante and Ma, NDC for who could do. Saying you almost so yesterday. Police centers at twice years. So, okay, a deputy mandatoryship idea. Kaya,
another
Pataguama, another pre, a task force in your a Tamacentra here. Okay, I said, KTV. Oh, what I say. Now compare. We were 137 from 137 to 88.
Patrick Yabuama, dear Pradia. Ne contender no crab betina TV so publicly.
I
can say we dim could never for congratulating.
Yes.
Because no name say a juma cough so form.
Exactly.
On beji.
Yes.
So
you see, so if you tell me say, you did that for the peace of the country, people may not believe. People may think say, it is so just to look good. Said the because all the OJ some year day, a tomb or ten because one day some Jay and I sadly day, a could be. People may also think that, but what was the repercussion on the party, on the general party, offense as a corporate entity? And what was the impact on us? And then we are having 88 in the whole out of 276 constituencies. Sadly, out of 276 constituencies, in the presidential election, we lost in 199 constituencies. 199 constituencies. Say, there are 6 regions in Ghana, only 4 parliamentary reps. There are 4 regions, MPP doesn't have any parliamentary rep. What are you talking about? What are we talking about? 4 regions, we don't have 1 parliamentary rep. What I say, what are rep boy? What are you rep boy? I say, now, what I say? And just make cano a asama dupa. What I say? When we go for such a performance, how do you then say, Sani Pako any day? And that time will be a time of time. But we are only saying, say, if it is about power, dear, in for the amount for the day, for no regiment or more Cassian fan.
All right.
And then can't send this for some form of fiber in Ashanti region. You are 2 about Kuma since 92. Ashanti region 2 MPP, voter region 2 MPs. Okay, I'm saying tribally sensitive. Since 92, okay, I'm saying tribally sensitive. Why will you go into a contest with your weak foot forward? Strategy. Why will you go into a contest? Oh, boxing ya uboy, unifana uburo kasi ya yede. Ese, wasi weedie, wako shia ikote, wako shia zuma nese, we peso wadi benkum na yede. Eko. Enfa, benkum yede prepre. No, ushe na waya, ambo di nifana mana apakat. Yes, I know. And first of all, even as a matter of strategy, we need to check and align. And this is one of the leading candidates are people from the south.
Yes.
And this are
say Haruna Idrusu, but no, they say you almost saw here.
So that is on matters of strategy. Secondly, we are looking at the credibility of the candidate. Ken has been in politics from 92 till now. Has there been any instance of corruption against him? Not even one. Galam say what is so Yesu he has the track record so to me challenging his own party. Our problem do not need so much of complex ideas to solve it. What we need to solve our problems, a common sense approach. That's a problem. So no, you need.
I want to answer say on to me BBC enko.
Na BBC for motor about. Gaddafi okay English. What else you in the country? You bro, above the America. I won't cover from the country. Yeah, Putin. Now they are putting share Trump many 2 days. The closing mark whatever of back over news.
Yeah.
Putin is on table for. On CC any mind.
Or can Russia sir?
On Miss CC any mind. A Jim Yao take a North Korea house or yes, I'm out with a couple of that. On CC any mind. Our problems go beyond language. Ghana hangasan, didn't have the table for. So in today. Into obin teaching into onim nyansa obin table of into onim nyansa obin ti anwen into onim nyansa won't language let us say language is just about proficiency and training even language in our crown a bit is busy here the SNB so I don't think we should benchmark a presidency on the also table of one more argument back on can say be a international community and IMF can't mean come from to come vision Obi Obeka Sebia is a very lazy leader that should not be tolerated around our presidency. A presupposes say any according and I say oh here na akwochire team you be free mood and dey be IMF
onye na adwen so obebobra
David until not na dream dey say Ghana dey say be IMF but Ken is telling you this Ken is saying say we say our rare sonko edda agriculture any oman behind a transformation. Exactly. There is a link between socio-economic transformation and agriculture. There is a link between socio-economic transformation and tourism. There is a link between socio-economic transformation and decentralization. Also about the first 100 days ministry say Ghana one can na wachichim
obest splitting nyina
obest splitting
na
tourism beko voter region education beko central region we kwa agrariculture we kwa mo kwa adwuma more konom the ministry will move there Ministry of Education when I was there we had 29 agencies everybody will move if we are going to the central region more kono be where they are hotel them
economy
so that is where ka uye bibi say we are na NDC for 25 economy